Good evening! Welcome to Tweed Up, where we take video games, music, movies, and more way too seriously. I'm Neil, this is Zac, and today we're talking about the 1987 cinematic masterpiece, Deathstalker II.
Woo!
It's been a long time coming. I know everyone has been
clamoring
making
for
requests.
Listen, please stop piling on the comments now. We're doing it, okay? No, this is something that I've been... I will talk about this movie with anyone, anywhere, anytime. It is one of my favorites, and yeah, I consider it a cinematic masterpiece. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Neil and I discovered this movie together 20 years ago.
I had seen it before then. Yeah. I saw it like...
I thought we did this
in
together.
my cousin's
I thought it was our
basement
thing.
on like Cinemax.
Well, yeah. Fantastic movie. Why don't you tell us about who in the movie, Neil?
So it's directed by Jim Wynorski, produced by the legendary Roger Corman.
Woo!
Starring John Turleski.
Turleski.
Deathstalker II.
Man's got an amazing head of hair.
Yeah. And he's from Cincinnati, Ohio.
O-H.
Yeah. You might have seen him in other masterpieces of cinema like Chopping Mall.
Yeah. I have seen Chopping Mall.
Does have an excellent cover box. I just, I've seen it too. But
it's gonna go right here.
Jim Wynorski, he directed Beastmaster 2, 976 Evil 2, House 4, and then like 50 some other movies.
Right.
That you probably haven't seen.
Yeah.
Well, unless you worked at a Blockbuster.
Yeah, did you work at Blockbuster?
Everything.
You've probably seen this too.
Yeah, that's true. And then you got John Lazar. From Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Yeah. And he really shines in this movie.
You have Monique Gabrielle.
Of Evil Tunes fame, talking about watching movies with your cousin in the basement.
She is the Princess Evie.
Yeah. Both of them.
Right.
She plays two different characters, really showing off her acting chops, Monique, in this movie.
Yeah.
She was in Bachelor Party. Great actress. I think she came short of the ERCOT. She didn't get the Tony.
Right.
But
and then the most importantly, you have music by Chuck Serino. Now this is a rousing score. Yeah. Exactly. Every time you hear it, you gotta.
Every time I play Dungeons and Dragons nowadays, this is what is the music that's going on in my head.
Or if you're riding on a Epona across the field,
100%.
You're not thinking Zelda theme. You're thinking Chuck Serino's score from Deathstalker 2. If you're not now, you will.
Oh yeah.
No, but we're sort of joking, but we both like this movie a lot. It's definitely.
I love it.
It's definitely in the. So
it's a sword and sorcerer movie, okay? This came out when they were really hot.
Conan the
Barbarian made a ton of money.
You had Conan the Barbarian 1982, Conan the Destroyer 1984, Red Sonja 1985.
A little movie called Deathstalker that somehow turned a profit. And so the studio said, Roger Corman said, all right, hey, you got a script. I got money. Go down to Venezuela, I believe, and shoot this thing. Same place where they shot Deathstalker 1.
But by the way, Deathstalker 1, don't bother.
Oh, it's trash. No,
don't watch it.
Not only do you not need to watch Deathstalker 1 to understand Deathstalker 2, but you should never watch Deathstalker 1 for any reason.
You'll actually see a good portion of Deathstalker 1 if you watch Deathstalker 2. They just throw footage from the first movie.
Not the director's decision, by the way. That was the studio throwing in some garbage, extra gratuitous nudity, which there isn't a lot of in this movie.
There is, but
it depends on your definition of gratuity.
If you've watched Game of Thrones,
Oh,
or what is it, the Queen Charlotte? What's that thing called? But I just feel like there's a lot of nudity in stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
So
this isn't worse.
There is nudity in this film, but it's not I don't think it's off-putting. It's still worth watching.
Oh, for sure. Every HBO series has more than this. And honestly, sometimes you need
Bridgerton. That's what
Bridgerton. There it was. Thank you. I would say that other than the things that were plugged in from Deathstalker 1, every scene in this movie exists for a reason.
Yeah, it goes at a really good clip. Things move along, and there's some really well orchestrated little set pieces.
You want to talk about the story, brother?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the story. So that jumps right into the frickin' action. I couldn't even wait. Like right into it. Boom! Thunder, here you're right. Show Deathstalker.
Oh wait, I didn't mention Tony Naples.
Oh yeah, Tony Naples, man.
In the cast is
Sultana.
Sultana. Yeah.
Sultana. Yeah.
She's the evil henchwoman.
Yeah.
She's awesome in this movie too.
She is. But yeah, right into Deathstalker in an Indiana Jones type of scenario.
Oh yeah. This movie has lots of like references to other films.
Yeah, and this movie knows what it is. Kind of like what Neil was saying before, like Jim Wynorski didn't want to make another Deathstalker.
Yeah, it's 100% a comedy.
Yes, this is an action comedy that Jim Wynorski and John Terlesky wrote.
It's like a Mel Brooks. It's like it's not a Mel Brooks. It's like a Looney Tunes, right?
It is a lot like Looney Tunes.
Yes.
But fantastic with really great sword fighting. Are we gonna talk about the story? Within the first 10 seconds, you see that Deathstalker's a really cocky dude. And he's good looking. John Terlesky,
great hair,
good looking, great hair. He's got this mystery girl.
With him. Wait,
like is she?
So like, just a second.
Yeah. All right.
Like we all wear like product in our hair now.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like there may be some hairspray of some kind, but like they teased it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was okay for men to have like kind of
frizzy
poofy
or poofy hair.
Yeah, poofy hair, and it looked cool, man.
It did.
This isn't the greatest representation of the hair, but you get the idea.
I'll try to throw like a Terlesky good hair right here.
I just have to say, I just had to stop and talk about the hair for a moment.
I think that deserves the attention that you gave it.
Yeah.
That might be our first short. I don't know. I want to leave it in. I don't think that's what my hair would look like if I grow it out, and I'm ashamed of it because it's poofy.
I know.
And people be like, "Oh,
that's what
dumb."
I'm saying." Like people think you can't have poofy hair as a man these days, but you can.
You can be the man and have poofy hair. Who is grabbing a figurine, a gold figurine, trying to figure out the weight. Indiana Jones style, takes it off of the pedestal. This is 15 seconds in the movie. You know that he's like a daring, dashing. What's the word I'm looking for here? Swashbuckling.
He actually does some swashbuckling, like in this opening sequence.
Yeah.
You know, he like swings across the room.
Yep.
Fighting these dudes.
Attacked by ninjas, more specifically. Like they've got their bad guy uniforms on. You're gonna see these same shaped 4 actors many a time in this movie. You'll never see their faces, but get used to seeing like gangs of 4 bad guys at once, all fighting with John Terlesky, who choreographed the fight scenes and is amazing at sword fighting. Like super fun. Does a little Han Solo run away down the hallway from the bad guys. You know, the chasing after him, turns around because there's too many of them, and he is just tearing them up. But here comes Sultana.
Yep. But our hero escapes.
Yeah. He jumps out a flipping window, and I think it is Terlesky that jumps out that window. And she gives us our classic opening.
Sultana.
Yeah. She delivers the line that may go down in history. Do you want to say it? Or?
I shall have my revenge.
And Deathstalker
2.
And then the Deathstalker 2 logo comes up.
Yeah. And the Chuck Serino score.
Yeah. And that's when you know, like, what kind of movie. Like, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, like, you know.
Yeah, just stop here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to. You're going to miss out on amazing stuff.
We're not addressing you anymore.
Right. We're talking to the cool people in the room now.
Like, and I just talked about, like, you know, Looney Tunes.
Yep.
And I wrote, like, what would happen if Bugs Bunny played Deathstalker as the idea. And then, so this next scene, it's outside of a bar.
Oh, yeah.
And they have all these barrels. And what does it say on the barrels?
Isn't it triple X?
It just says beer.
Beer, that's right.
All of these. Beer. And this is in, like, the Dark Ages or whatever, you know, the Barbarian Times.
Yes.
Which I think
that was between the Middle Ages and Dark Ages?
No, it was like the 1950s. It was Barbarian Times.
It
was just a certain, like, you know, part of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just decided to go back to Barbarian Times.
You've set the scene beautifully. We get to see Princess Evie for the first time in her role as Rena the Seer.
Seer.
She is getting booted right out of the town. The guards tell her she knows why, and they start beating on her. Like, and who comes to the rescue but Stalker? There he is, and pull a few more amazing moves, a couple of real Looney Tunes things, like you were saying.
Yep.
Very clever, very charismatic.
The village idiot and the 2 runners-up.
She is smitten, like, automatically. And who wouldn't be for John Treleski? But we've already been introduced to both of our protagonists, established something of their character. You see that Princess Evie is kind of a whiner, maybe a little sneaky, cutesy. And we're not even 6 minutes into the movie.
But then they go into the bar, and you get to see Deathstalker's real talent.
Oh my god! Like, this guy, he's irresistible. Like, simply, he's sitting with 2 fellow patrons of the bar who are of the fairer sex, and just showing off, flexing on everybody in that bar. You know that thing with the candle? Woo! Yeah,
that's literally what he's doing to impress the ladies, and they're impressed.
They're stunned. And most people think that Deathstalker is like only a swordsman. Like, no. This shows that he is actually a fire mage as well.
He's a Renaissance man.
He really is. You get some scenes that are plugged in from Deathstalker 1 in here, totally unnecessary.
And then like Evie or Rena, the seer, comes in, and for some reason there's a fight.
Well, she crashes his party, and he's like trying to tell her, no thanks. And like Stalker comes to Rena/Evie's rescue again, and starting a fight in the bar. Not just with the people that started it, the guards type guys,
but with everybody.
He fights everybody in that bar.
Well, and everyone's. I mean, they're just having a good. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
In Barbarian Times
in the 1950s.
That's what bars were for.
Yeah. You drink some beer.
Yeah.
Get into a fight.
Yeah.
Maybe smack a woman around a little bit. Not really. But yeah, gets a little help from Rena on the old slide the bottle down the bar to me, smack.
Classic.
Trick.
Yeah. And then like Rena wants Deathstalker to leave, and he's like, "Why? We're having a great time in here. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
But then so you leave, and you get
Stalker prevails.
This nighttime chase sequence, which is fantastic, and you start to get Rena starts to know Deathstalker, and he introduced himself.
I'm Deathstalker,
and she says, "Is that your first name or your last name?"
I'm Evie!
Deathstalker!
Deathstalker? Is that your first name or your last name?
All right.
Is this the time to talk about it?
We got to slow down and talk about the sound.
The sound. What's that sound? There it was. You're going to hear that sound 275 times.
Anytime anything like action-packed or surprising or interesting or funny happens,
scary.
You hear that sound.
Yeah.
It's like the Metal Gear Solid kind of. But yeah, so like what he was saying, like they think that they've gotten away, and so Deathstalker brags, "You gotta get up pretty early in the morning to catch the Prince of Thieves."
Do you think we lost him?
You gotta get up pretty early in the morning to catch the Prince of Thieves.
It is pretty early in the morning.
Just brilliant.
Classic. Classic.
But he establishes that he's in the wealth redistribution business. He's the Prince of Thieves. And you can already tell again, she's smitten. He's pretty chill, man. Mm-hmm. He's kind of a pain, or she's kind of a pain in his rear end. But we cut to Evie's hut, and she's cooking for him. Her specialty.
This is her hut where she is a seeress.
Seeress. She is preparing a dinner for him, and we get, I think, the first of many, or maybe the second spit take in this movie. Terleski, master of spit takes, amazing dude.
You also start to see Monique Gabrielle's like acting job.
Yeah, this scene, she's fantastic.
I mean, you gotta like, we're not gonna play it here, but if you watch the film, when she says, "Come and get me, Deathstalker."
Come and get me, Deathstalker, if you dare.
It's priceless. It's pretty amazing.
It really is. And she is telling, she's trying to repay him, and so she's going to do a prophecy, a seeing for Stalker. She's got this really amazing crystal ball that they obviously went all out on. Yes. Probably, it's a doorknob. Yeah. Crystal doorknob.
But probably like somewhat expensive as far as doorknobs go.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe it's like the cheapest.
I don't know. You could probably find this doorknob at Goodwill, but it might also cost $1,000. I don't know. She tells him that Deathstalker is going to save a princess from an evil sorcerer and get a big reward. And buddy, he is sold.
Yep. He's down.
Yeah, he's got a quest. He knows what he's doing. And she even throws up some salt in it. She says that there's a great sorcerer who's an even better swordsman than Stalker.
He's also a great swordsman, even greater than Deathstalker.
Better than me?
Better than me?
Better than me? Amazing. But yeah, he is down and he wants to go now. Like, she's like, why don't we hang out? And he's like, no, go now. And so we cut to
John Lazar.
John Lazar is Jarek.
He's pretty awesome.
He really is. This guy, he's having fun too, but he's like playing it serious. Really good straight guy. And
is he playing it serious?
Is it? He's awesome. He really is.
He is. And he's fighting and killing his own henchmen.
For entertainment, because he's so powerful and bored.
And and it's one of those like, he's having a conversation,
he's playing with them,
and then he's like killing people, and then continuing his conversation.
Next, and who's he having a conversation with? But oh my God, it's Princess Evie. No, actually, it's a doppelganger of Princess Evie that Jarek and Sultana put on the throne to pull off a coup.
Dude, you are giving more insight into the plot of this film than the film itself gives.
I think that's true. And we've also been talking about it. Right now, we're behind where the movie is. They just started.
Yeah, the film is faster than our...
by a lot. Honestly, right now, we're talking about Jarek and Evie, and this seems maybe 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
They established that they can't hurt either Evie, or else it'll do the same thing to the other. That's why they didn't kill good Princess Evie. They just kicked her out of the fortress. Sultana comes in, and we learn that she helped take the throne. Jarek and Sultana are going to work together to catch our heroes, Stalker and good Princess Evie. And right here's my note. We're 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Get a great horse montage. Traveling.
You get the Chuck Sereno score.
Okay, bar scene. Another bar scene. I think it's the same bar, but Sultana walks into the bar, walks up to the Chin and says,
"Give it to me, Chin. What do you got?"
Boom!
Yeah, so there's a Hawaii Five-0 reference. Yep. Chin is like the leader of... Did we already talk about who?
Band. Yeah. No, well, I don't think we really talked about him, but
it gives the whole like shot of like evildoers.
Yeah,
you know,
all got
introduce them all. Oh, it's classic.
But yeah, so Chin and his merry band are gonna go after. They got first dibs. They're gonna go get Stalker. Sultana is totally skeptical. She's like, "These guys are clowns. This is never gonna work." And we get an amazing action scene, like immediately cut into boom.
Okay, men, let him have it.
Explosions, and there are
they got exploding arrows.
Arrows.
This is right out of Rambo, man.
Oh yeah, and obviously classic. Inspired by Rambo, First Blood. Our heroes are on a horse trying to get away, and the pirate band is just firing explosive arrows. And there's a lot of pyrotechnics in this scene, which happens to be shot in a landfill. And if you look really closely, you might see a couple of indications of that.
Yeah.
But pretty amazing scene. Stalker intuits relatively quickly. If they were trying to kill us, they'd have done it already. And around that time, Chin says, "That'll be fine, boys. Save your arrows." And we get to start seeing like just how lethal.
This is the Metal Gear sequence.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of stealth kills.
Yeah,
and every time he like kills someone, you get the sound.
Yeah,
you don't even have to do that, right?
It's right.
But I did
hear
write
that song in my head all the time.
I wrote down how you spell that sound, and I wrote BEEAARRR exclamation point.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see an H in there somewhere too.
Yeah.
There you go. You get some amazing kills. Stalker breaks a dude's neck. He's sneaking around in the dark.
You get the smoking shoes.
Yeah,
classic. This image right here.
Yes. The guy who gets blown out of his shoes is called Footstool. In a moment of real political correctness, it's a dwarf. Stalker gets him with ninja stars, dude. And the guy was holding one of those exploding arrows, drops his shoe. feet, and all you see is the smoke and shoes. Pretty amazing. And yeah, the epic smoke silhouette right there. He is Princess Evie's been captured, and Stalker, he's not even stressed, man. He's like, go ahead, kill her. I'm not worried about it.
Then it's the old boot throwing knife.
Throw.
Yeah.
Throw your sword down, or I'll cut her pretty little throat.
Go ahead. Cut it.
You rat!
That's it. He Stalker saved the day, and she, is grateful and expresses that gratitude.
And then so Chin has to go,
he has to report.
pay the piper.
Yeah.
And literally he goes to.
Well, in Barbarian Times, they didn't have pay phones.
No pay phones, but they have a misty pool, and he throws some coinage into this misty pool to contact Jarek.
Yeah.
And so then Jarek's like, "What? You didn't do what I told you to do," and like stabs him through the pool.
Yeah.
So puts the sword into the pool on his end, and it comes out.
Yeah, Jarek's got a cauldron and he jams it in.
It's pretty awesome.
Gets Chin, and Sultana's just like, Psh, knew that was going to happen, loser.
The creativity. I mean, literally, it's pretty great.
All right, and I wanted to be clear,
we're
not joking.
I mean, we are joking about Monique Gabrielle's acting abilities.
Yes, that
we're joking about.
Sarcastic.
Everything else we're serious.
Yeah.
And then we have the cemetery scene where you're talking about good set pieces.
Yeah.
This scene is fantastic.
For the budget that they had, how much time did they spend on this graveyard crypt?
They had to build a lot of stuff.
For sure.
All the graves, which are really just like 2x4s.
Yeah, but they've got names on them and stuff. Yeah. And I should really go through and look up those names.
But the big crypt itself is pretty imposing.
I'm telling you what, it is not cheap nor easy to make those crushing walls.
This film is basically they have a little bit more money than you making something in your backyard, but not much.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like a guy that's got a really nice mansion, maybe not in Beverly Hills.
No one involved in this picture had a mansion.
You don't think Roger Corman had a mansion?
Oh, well, but he's not there.
That's true, but he paid for it.
He's not on site.
True. Fair, yeah. But yeah, zombie crypt scene. She's like, "What are we doing here?" And he says, "We need some walking around money."
You gotta have walking around.
You gotta have walking around money. Evie's trying to convince him to leave. They hear this noise. So what was that?
Yeah,
the wind. The wind needs oil.
Yeah, classic. But this particular scene, this is the scene that I remember from when I saw this. And when did this movie come out? I know I said earlier. But I feel like I probably saw this in 5th grade, maybe 4th or 5th grade, something like that.
I'd let a 5th grader watch this movie.
Yeah. And this is the scene I remember. You know, is this particular crypt scene.
That's a
with
good
the
one.
Zombies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's it's super short.
It is.
But so there's
nothing drags.
He tries to sneak in, and then.
He gets stuck. They get separated.
Yeah.
Famous last words, as he is very prone to doing. He says, "What's the worst that could happen?" And boom, the door of the crypt slams shut. He's inside. She's outside.
And then he gets an image of Jarek, who's
Jarek FaceTimes him on a hologram.
Deathstalker, I got you. And then the wall starts closing in, and you get the
Well, Jarek says that he's got a pressing engagement. He's got one for Stalker too.
Yeah.
Lots of amazing jokes and puns here.
Yeah.
And then the walls start coming in, and Stalker's like, "Oh, the old crushing wall trick." Boring. And spikes come out of the walls. Yeah.
But then at this time, all the zombies outside start attacking Rena the Cirrus.
You're nailing. Are you rubbing that in my face? That I just
no.
Say it earlier?
No, I got to keep remembering. I want to keep calling her Evie. But it's Rena.
It is Rena.
It's not Evie.
That's fact.
So zombies are attacking her. She does stab one, and a bunch of worms come out. Yeah, that's the closest this film comes to gore.
Some nice practical effects, not terrible CGI.
Spikes start coming out of the crushing wall, and Deathstalker is able to climb up the spikes and get out of the top. It's pretty amazing. You got.
It's a cool action scene.
2 different, characters in peril at the same time. It's pretty well shot.
It's better than the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom crashing scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good times. I mean
that. Steven Spielberg and Jim Wynorski tried the same thing. Jim Wynorski did it better.
Good times. And then next, what happens? Amazons wrestling.
Woo! It's true facts, man. Our heroes have been captured, and like Ewok captured by the Amazons. They're tied to the long poles and
100% Ewok capture.
being swung. Stalker tries to mansplain their way out, and the Amazon Queen, whose name in the film, her character's name is Amazon Queen, expertly portrayed by Maria Sokis.
Oh yeah,
she
I didn't
is
bring
not
her up.
impressed whatsoever by Stalker.
And so the reason they've been captured is because of Deathstalker's legendary womanizing.
He is a wanted womanizer.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out that Amazon Queen just shushes Stalker. She's not dealing with him. She talks to Rena instead. And they don't talk about Deathstalker. They talk about who Rena is and a couple of other things. And what's that make, Neil? 2 named female characters who have a conversation in the movie that's not about the male lead. This movie passes the Bechdel test.
Sultana also talks.
Right. She also talks to Rena about things that, and that's what I'm saying. This movie passes the Bechdel test on multiple layers, and like that makes it better than most Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bechdel test.
But then what he's talking about here is where Deathstalker figures out that Rena is the princess.
Yes. He puts things together right before he is sentenced to death by Snoo, essentially. He is going to have to rescue or wrestle their champion. He's going to fight him to the death. And it's literally a wrestling ring.
They have like a wrestling ring.
They have a legit
set up
wrestling
in
ring.
the Amazon. Well, I guess it is in the Amazon.
Yeah.
They're in Venezuela.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, so Stalker's jumping ropes, warming up, getting ready, and he knows he's fine. Nobody in this Amazon village can take me. This is gonna be easy. And Rena is acting as his trainer. And so he gets in the ring, and there's a Rocky score, like Chuck Serino does a version of the Rocky score.
Yeah, this is like, so the next this is like the longest,
It really is.
the
It's
longest scene in this is the most important scene in the film is the scene where Deathstalker wrestles
This
Queen
is the midpoint
Kong.
of the hero's journey. Like, if this was your classic 3-act like adventure movie, this is like the honest struggle of the hero in the hero's journey.
So you see this like regular
Cage.
size regular sized woman comes out and Deathstalker and then she moves out of the way and they're pulling Queen Kong, professional wrestler Queen Kong,
as Gorgo.
Yeah, they're pulling her like in a cage down to the wrestling ring. And so then you get a really probably longer than it should be like wrestling match. But it's really good. It's pretty rousing.
Yeah, and
it's funny.
Gorgo's definitely, beating the crap out of Stalker for a while.
Yeah, it's not going that well.
Yeah, I mean he's getting knocked down. He's getting clobbered. Evie's encouraging him, and the Amazons have ring girls.
Yeah, there's ring girls, and there's also like there's rounds, and they go to the corner, and like Rena is their.
Oh yeah, the towel, the trainer. You got him, champ. Get out there and keep fighting him. Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah, and like I think that I realize that Monique Gabrielle isn't like an all-time, master.
She's awesome. Like I mean,
when she's just having fun, and being Rena, she's actually pretty cool.
Here's what you gotta do. Stay away from her. Wear her out, run her down, then attack!
But it's Gorgo versus Deathstalker is a pretty great fight. Stalker ends up, turning things around.
He does like a Hurricane Rana, kind of.
Sure does. Well, kind of.
He sort of just falls off her head.
It was a Barbarian's time.
Right.
Hurricane
they
Rana.
hadn't invented it yet.
Yep. She uses dirty tricks, pulls hair and stuff, but he's an honorable dude. We get a couple more spit takes during this.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of like Queen Kong's like facial expressions.
Oh yeah,
they're
like
pretty expressive.
Yeah. And when you hear that music playing, that's when Stalker, the momentum shifts, and
it's classic. Classic.
And hey, Stalker wins.
Yeah. He did win.
Amazons are all screaming for Gorgo to be killed. Kill her! Kill her! This was to the death.
Kill her! Kill her! What are you doing? This is a fight to the death!
And Stalker says, You want her dead? Kill her yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a noble guy. This guy, that was a great fight. He's not going to kill her.
And once they realize what an amazing dude he is, then he is forced to marry the Amazon queen.
Yeah, he's going to become their king, the king of the Amazons, because he's such a noble dude. He went from being a wanted womanizer, bam.
Yeah. And
let's be honest, it's John Terlesky. He probably deserves it.
How do you think Deathstalker would react to learning that he is now going to marry the Amazon queen?
Do you think he'd be thrilled about it? I mean, Maria Sokas, she's a lovely woman, prestigious position.
She has the longest soliloquy. Yeah, she has the longest piece of dialogue in the film where she's talking about, I don't even know what the heck she's talking about.
Yeah, their future together essentially. And she said, she says our wedding in the morning.
Yeah.
Our wedding ceremony.
And we get another spit take, and Stalker is gone.
Yeah, and then so right after Maria Sokas is delivered the longest, most poetic writing
with
in
this,
the film.
Harp music that's going on. It's really sweet.
She turns around, Deathstalker's gone, and then she has this very appropriate response.
Yeah, you want to say
it's classic. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not only has Stalker figured out Rena's secret, but she saw him making out with the Amazon Queen, and she was not pleased. She's obviously very jealous, and she took off.
She gets captured. And then you have another set piece, which is the old princess hung by a rope above fire.
Yeah, she's caught over a boiling pot, and yeah.
Did I just do this?
You did. I don't know what that means. The classic,
the old princess hung by a rope thing.
Yeah.
That's the hands.
That's
ALS.
Sultana has captured Rena, and she wants her to give up Deathstalker. Tell me where he is, or else she's going to lower into a cauldron of acid.
Yeah, I guess it's
acid. You can't kill me. Well, you know how I can dip you into that acid, and it won't kill you.
So this is, and then...
And she refuses to give up Deathstalker's location, man. Loyalty, pure respect, and heroism.
But Deathstalker.
There he is.
Yeah.
And she says, "You're back," and he says, "By popular demand."
Came back!
By popular demand.
It's just incredible line
And then
delivery.
you have a bit of a Sultana versus Deathstalker fight here.
Yeah, while Rena's rope is on fire, so there's
tension
so
building.
much stakes going on here.
This is a good scene too.
It really is, and we see some of John Terlesky's legitimately good sword fight choreography, and she's actually pretty good too. Say her name again.
Tony Naples.
Thank you, sir.
And then, but you get that classic shot of the burning rope.
Oh yeah.
And then you see the rope burn, and she starts falling, and you get Deathstalker jumping. And you don't.
It's an interesting shot.
The way it's edited and shot, it comes across pretty well.
Yeah, and so he at this point has stabbed Sultana. She's dead. He's got Evie, and they're laying there on the ground. And
oh, you have to talk about this line?
Yeah. There's a time and a place.
What's
the matter?
Nothing. I just think there's a time and a place for everything.
Well, the top half of you may think it's the wrong time, but the bottom half definitely knows it's the right place.
A really amazing love story. Jump into sorcery.
Necromancy. Jarek uses his dark powers to revive Sultana.
Yeah.
Let's skip to the next part.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to note that Jarek and Sultana are intimate, and evil Princess Evie
is not cool with it.
She sees that, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
Cut to another Looney Tunes shot of our heroes spying on the fortress through some reeds.
Yeah.
The wind is screaming again. We need to oil it. And she knows how a sneaky way to get in.
They're going to sneak into the castle via the tunnels.
Yeah.
As Everyone does.
Yeah.
That's the way.
How else would you do it?
That's way that's
like if you were planning
Conan
on
the Barbarian.
if you're gonna sneak into your local dungeon, you know damn well that you're
there's got to
going
be a tunnel
through
somewhere,
that
unguarded tunnel.
Well, yeah, because they're counting on the guards in the dungeon to catch you, which is what happens here.
Get out of here. Just get out of here.
Hi, guys.
Stalker and Rena are a trap is sprung. Stalker gets captured. Rena gets away, and but not for long. She gets tackled by some guards that'll look familiar. 4 guys again, roughed up a bit, but boom! Who saves the day but Amazon Queen and her merry band?
She's got a whip too.
Yeah. Looking awesome. Maria Soka's just looking tough. Gives her the nod, like, yeah, let's do this. In the dungeon, Jarek runs his mouth some more. Stalker's like, dude, let's just settle this right now. And Jarek's like, I gotta go. There's Sultana. She claims the right to kill Stalker. He was gonna die.
He's on the pit and
the pendulum. Yeah.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
This is the ALS.
Yeah. Oh. He's laid out, and we get some Goldfinger. He's talking
like literally.
Yeah, literally Goldfinger. He's talking to Jarek and he says, do you expect me to talk?
No, he's talking to Sultana.
Sultana, yeah. The guards come and say that Rena has claimed the right, or Princess Evie has claimed the right to Deathstalker. They take him up to her, and you get a kind of creepy scene. He figures out that she's evil after doing some careful investigation. He interviews her. They speak. They interact in various ways. And
but then the princess saves him from the princess.
She is about to eat him. She's
like a vampire.
Yeah, and she's getting ready to eat Stalker. But who shows up and saves the day but Rena, and she clobbers her over the back of the head with the statue. And, Stalker is like, how did you know how to find me in here? She's like, it's my room. I think I know how to get around. All right. So Rena saves Deathstalker from evil Princess Evie. They bolt. They go out, are going outside, sneaking away. And, they're captured again. There's Jarek and all his men. And Evie is asked to pull away. She's going to stand with her man and fight. And they say, let's do this. It's 1 or 2 against 100. And we hear, why don't we even those odds considerably?
What about we even up those odds considerably?
And who shows up but the Amazon Queen and her army? And they're on the fortress walls.
Yep.
Showing some really amazing archery skills.
So then the epic battle is... Helm's Deep has nothing on this conflict.
It's true, man. Like, you think about major motion picture productions of huge battles, and this is all practical effects. There's no CGI in this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Deathstalker 1, footage.
I don't know if that's true. Well, I think there is some interspersed, yeah. But every time you see people fighting and the Amazons fighting...
if there are Amazons, it's from Deathstalker 2.
And guys looking at the camera, it's from Deathstalker 2. But yeah, that battle's happening in the courtyard, and Deathstalker tells Evie, I'm going to go get Jarek. She says, I got some girl talk to do. She's going to go find evil Princess Evie. And we get that, as you so aptly put it,
Scooby-Doo cave scene.
Absolutely.
So it's literally a long shot, and there's different cave openings, and they're coming out of one cave and going into the other while the other one's coming out here and coming out. It's
really amazing.
It is a cartoon.
Remember, this is only one actress. I know that it's pretty convincing, but it is actually just the one actress.
And so the good princess wins.
She does. She, emulating her hero, throws the knife, gets evil Princess Evie, and because Jarek has come up with a cure, good Princess Evie lives. There's only one left.
And then we have literally one of the best sword fights.
It really is. Okay, Princess Bride, the scene on the cliff. That is maybe a little bit better, but if John Terlesky had played the Dread Pirate Roberts, I think it would have been improved.
Yeah.
Maybe that was him behind the mask, and Harry Elwes was just using a stunt double. But amazing sword fight. all the way around the room.
This is, I mean, we're not joking. Like this,
it really is great.
This sword fight's really well choreographed. It's very swashbuckling. It's your classic, mono, e-mono.
Yeah, Stalker gets disarmed.
And they get up on tables at some point.
Oh, yeah. They fight across the table fencing.
And it is all choreographed by Cincinnati native John Terlesky.
OH. The tide is not going well for Stalker for a while. He does get disarmed. He's using a big old candlestick that gets split in half. Yeah. It gets thrown up against the wall.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, this part is really cool. So Jarek's going to finish him off and goes to stab him right in the neck. And Stalker catches the sword, right? And he's got it locked up, and Jarek's just pushing with all his might. Stalker ducks the sword, which goes into the door, punches the sword in half, like breaks the sword, punches it with his hand, grabs the sword, and jams it up into Jarek's right here. And game over, Jarek. Now our protagonists have won.
That is pretty epic, but I do believe that this is a reference to, there's some kung fu movie where that happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's a reference.
I believe that 100%. But it doesn't change the fact that it's super awesome. Dude punches a sword in half.
Yeah.
You think you could punch a sword in half?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that sword.
Yeah. Okay. And that's another thing. Like these swords, don't look too terribly close at them. A couple of them are okay, but a few of them are probably made of wood. Legendary sword of fight. The music is amazing. Victory. Immediately cut to after they show another long shot from Deathstalker 1 of some nonsense.
Yeah.
We cut to the scene in the throne room, which is now all lively and beautiful. They've remodeled with all of our heroes.
See, in the Star Wars, right?
Yeah, it is exactly. Reyna's now the princess, and she announces that she's going to present the reward to Deathstalker. What does the reward end up being, Neil? None other than Princess Evie herself. Right. She is the reward. So he's going to be the king, and that they end on one of my favorite lines. She says, we're going to be go down in the legends together, or something along those lines. And he said,
well, I sure hope they get a good-looking guy to play me.
I sure hope they get a good-looking guy to play me. And he's just got this shit-eating grin, and I just love it so much. And you go straight into a blooper reel post-credits scene.
Yeah. There's blooper reels in this film. Yeah.
This movie is so good.
If you are not someone who can, appreciate the efforts of a small group,
with,
this
isn't a massive
with not much money, but a lot of creativity and a lot of just spirit. You know what I mean? You can feel the enthusiasm for the project from John Terlesky. For
sure.
And John Lazar, the Johns.
Yeah.
The Johns are 100% in on this, and Monique from time to time.
She's bought in, man.
Yeah, not every scene, but she's pretty convincing.
I think
funny.
Sultana seems the most skeptical of the production.
Right.
But
that fits the character.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
She's just kind of, snooty and too good anyway.
Yeah. But it is, maybe
don't let little children watch it.
No, there is nudity in it. But I don't think that Jim Wynorski is a...
We've only got so many Johns.
Is a great director. But there are some well-directed scenes in this film. And
it's clever. It's well written. You can tell that there's creativity, figuring out how to make things happen, how to do a shot. They put thought into this, and the stories say, or the research says that they were writing the scenes the night before and kind of as they went. And I think that sometimes special things happen in movies, and I think that Deathstalker 2 is one of those times that maybe it's better than it ever had any right to be. Is it do we need to send this movie into space for aliens to understand our culture?
Yes.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good idea. But you get my point. But for pure entertainment value, if you like sword and sorcery stuff or just funny action, check it out. It's so good. It's on. Well, it's not on YouTube, but you can find it pretty easily.
I would say it's. Now, let me preface this by saying I like Crawl quite a lot.
We do like Crawl. We're going to be talking about Crawl soon.
This is better than Crawl.
It is legitimately better than Crawl, and I want... All right. I said that first.
If that means anything to you...
They had so much more money for
then
Crawl.
you should watch this film.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching Tweed Up.
Yeah, thanks for letting us talk about one of our favorite things together, man. Crash
All right.
and burn.
Peace out.
Peace.
Captain Depression, we salute you. 'Cause I'm only a private, but you know my heart is in it. Yeah, I swear my heart is in it. I never